Everyone is talking about Alex Ila's next match, but not for the reason most people think. This is not just another tournament match. This is not just another round on the grass courts. And this is definitely not just another meeting between two young players trying to climb the rankings. Because hidden beneath the statistics, rankings, and predictions is a question that nobody seems able to answer. Has Alex Ila finally become the player that Ivanovic can no longer beat? Think about that for a second. For months, tennis fans have watched Alex Ila rise through the rankings, build momentum, and prove that she belongs among the sport's brightest young stars. Every tournament has revealed a slightly different version of her. A little stronger, a little smarter, a little more dangerous. But every great rise eventually reaches a moment of truth. A moment where potential must become reality. A moment where improvement must be proven against an opponent who already knows your weaknesses. And for Alex Ila, that opponent is Ivanovic, a player she respects, a player she considers a friend, and a player who has already beaten her. Twice. That is what makes this story so fascinating, because friendships are easy when there is no pressure. Friendships are easy when there is nothing significant at stake. But what happens when both players stand on opposite sides of the net, knowing that only one of them can move forward? What happens when the person across from you understands your game better than most opponents ever will? What happens when the match means more than just a place in the next round? That is exactly where Alex Ila finds herself now. And if you have been following her journey closely, you already know why this moment feels different. Not because of the rankings, not because of the draw, not even because of the opponent. It feels different because Alex Eala is playing the best grass court tennis of her career. That statement alone changes everything. The version of Alex Ila that fans are seeing today is not the same player who struggled earlier in the season. Her confidence is different. Her movement is different. Her decision-making is different. And perhaps most importantly, her serve is different. For a long time, critics pointed to her serve as the area opponents could attack. Against elite competition, it sometimes became vulnerable under pressure. But recently, something has changed. The serve is becoming a weapon. And when Alex Eala's serve starts becoming a weapon, the rest of her game becomes significantly more dangerous. Because now opponents are no longer starting points from neutral positions. Now they are reacting. Now they are defending. Now they are being forced to play on Alex Ila's terms. That is exactly what happened during her recent performances on grass. Fans watching closely noticed it immediately. The points became shorter. The confidence became higher. The aggression became more controlled. Instead of waiting for opportunities, she started creating them. Instead of reacting to pressure, she started applying it. And suddenly opponents who looked comfortable against her before were finding themselves rushed, frustrated, and out of rhythm. That transformation did not happen by accident. It happened because grass rewards a very specific type of tennis. Grass rewards confidence. Grass rewards first-strike tennis. Grass rewards players willing to attack. And Alex Eala has embraced all three. The numbers tell part of the story. The eye test tells the rest. You can see it in the way she walks between points. You can see it in the way she approaches important moments. You can see it in the way she refuses to panic when matches become tight. That mentality is one of the reasons fans connect with her so strongly, because Alex Ila does not rely on excuses. She does not rely on drama. She does not spend time explaining setbacks. She simply goes back to work, and that mentality might be her greatest strength. Think about how many young players struggle after difficult losses. Some lose confidence, some lose momentum, some begin questioning themselves. Alex Ila seems to do the opposite. Every setback appears to add another layer to her game. Every challenge seems to sharpen her focus. Every defeat seems to create a better version of the player fans see next. That is why this upcoming match feels so important. Not because it guarantees anything, but because it offers the clearest test yet of how much she has improved. And standing on the other side of the net is a player capable of exposing every weakness. Eva Jovic is not receiving attention by accident. There is a reason analysts continue talking about her future. There is a reason many believe she could become one of the biggest names in women's tennis. She possesses the kind of game that creates problems for almost everyone. Her ability to return serve, her court awareness, her composure, her tactical intelligence. These are qualities that cannot be taught easily, and they are qualities that have helped her succeed against Alex Ila before. That history matters. Anyone pretending it doesn't is ignoring reality. Jovic earned those victories. She deserved them. She was the better player on those occasions, but history becomes dangerous when people assume it guarantees the future, because tennis changes quickly. Players evolve, confidence changes, momentum shifts, and sometimes a rivalry reaches a point where everything suddenly flips. The question is whether this is that moment, because there are signs suggesting it could be. The biggest sign is simple. Alex Ila's grass court form is real. This is not a lucky week. This is not one good match. This is not one fortunate draw. This is a sustained stretch of high-level tennis. And sustained form is far more dangerous than isolated success. When players start believing they belong at a higher level, everything changes. They swing more freely. They trust their instincts. They stop thinking and start competing. That is exactly what Eala appears to be doing right now. And if that confidence carries into this matchup, Jovic could be facing a completely different challenge than before. Of course, none of this guarantees victory. Tennis does not work that way. Momentum helps. Confidence helps. Crowd support helps. But eventually, the match begins. Eventually, the noise disappears. Eventually, the predictions become meaningless. And eventually, two players must solve the same problem. How do you win the next point? That is where this story becomes truly fascinating. Because both players have legitimate reasons to believe they can win. Jovic can point to previous victories. Eala can point to current form. Jovic can trust her experience against this opponent. Eala can trust the improvements she has made. Neither player enters the match lacking confidence. Neither player enters the match without momentum, and that creates exactly the type of contest tennis fans love. A match where nobody knows the answer. A match where every game feels important. A match where one break of serve could change everything. The atmosphere will only make it more intense. Wherever Alex Ila plays these days, the support follows. Filipino fans have transformed many of her matches into events. Not just tennis matches. Events. The energy is impossible to ignore. The noise is impossible to ignore. The passion is impossible to ignore, and opponents feel it. Every winner gets a reaction. Every break point creates tension. Every comeback attempt generates belief. For a young player, that level of support can become a powerful weapon, because confidence grows when thousands of people believe in you. Confidence grows when every big point feels like a home match. Confidence grows when you know an entire nation is watching. That support will be present again, maybe louder than ever, and if the match becomes close, it could matter. Not because fans can hit the ball, but because fans can influence emotion, and emotion influences performance. That is one of the hidden battles taking place beneath the surface. The technical battle will happen with serves, returns, and rallies. The emotional battle will happen inside the players' minds. Who handles pressure better? Who stays calm longer? Who trusts their game when the score becomes tight? Those questions often decide matches like this, and that is why so many people are excited, because this matchup has everything. Talent, history, momentum, friendship, rivalry, pressure, expectation, and opportunity. For Alex Ila, a victory would send a powerful message. It would prove that her recent success is not temporary. It would prove that her improvements are real. It would prove that she can defeat elite opposition on one of the biggest stages of the season. For Eva Jovic, a victory would reinforce everything people already believe about her future. It would strengthen her reputation as one of the game's rising stars. It would confirm that she remains a difficult puzzle for Eala to solve. Either way, somebody's story gets stronger. That is why this match matters. Not because it determines an entire career, not because it guarantees future success, but because it reveals where both players truly stand right now. And perhaps that is what makes sports so captivating. You can analyze statistics. You can compare rankings. You can study previous matches. But eventually, none of it matters. Eventually, the players walk onto the court. Eventually, the first ball is struck. And eventually, someone finds a way to win. The only thing we know for certain is this. Alex Ila is arriving with confidence. Eva Jovic is arriving with belief. And when those two things collide on grass, anything can happen. The rivalry is real. The stakes are real. The opportunity is real. Now all that's left is the match itself. And if Alex Ila truly is the new version, everyone believes she is, this could be the moment that changes everything.